previous video, we ended by raising a most important question, and that question was, how do you define your unique and useful KPIs? And remember, KPIs meant key performance indicators. Now, what do you think about this? How do you define and establish what are your unique and useful KPIs for your specific business? Well, fortunately for us, there are some experts on KPIs out there and who are measuring and looking at performance all the time, and they can help us to answer this challenging question. And according to the Balanced Scorecard Institute, you might be interested to know that the Balanced Scorecard Institute is founded by a group of Harvard Business School professors in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and they're looking at performance measurement all the time. And according to the Balanced Scorecard Institute, you can define your unique KPIs by following 6 steps. And now maybe we can talk about those, but first let me list them. The first step is to define the intended results. The second step is to understand the alternative measures. The third step is to select the right measurements for each goal or objective. The fourth step is to define composite indicators, which means that you combine individual measures into a single index, which can be useful. The fifth step is to set targets and thresholds. And finally, number 6, define and regularly document the selected performance measures. After following those 6 steps, you should also collect and monitor the performance of those KPIs, analyze and draw conclusions from those KPIs, and from that analysis, what does it mean? And improve performance as a result of all of that. But please remember, not all KPIs are related directly to cash flow or other financial data, because a business's success can often also depend on relationships with its customers and employees, etc. So there's other data out there that can be useful to you as a manager. The selection of the KPIs that you decide to monitor need to be customized for your business case. But cash flow and other financial numbers can be the source of some of the most important KPIs which you might use in your business. And it's important to know financial information can be helpful to you. Some of those accounting-based KPIs might include account receivables or the amount of money you should be getting from your customers, because without the money, it's hard to run a business. But just following that KPI is not enough, because you must also be able to collect that money. So, which is even more important, that you get the money. Inventory KPIs can also be important, and inventory KPIs measure the amount of materials held in the business, which can be at some point sold or transferred into a final product. But until you do that, inventory can be a cost for you and your company, so you want to minimize the inventory as much as possible without harming your business response rate or etc. Accounts payable KPIs can also be very important, and accounts payable KPIs measure the sum of money your company needs to give suppliers at some point in the future in order for you to purchase the raw materials or services you need to carry out your business. And here is an important point to remember. Understanding these KPIs and how they evolve over time is critical to the performance of every business. For example, to increase the performance of your business, you might shorten the accounts receivable turnover, let's say to 30 days, and extend the accounts payable turnover to 60 days or more, because that action for your business can generate extra liquidity, which means that customers are financing your business operations in the short term. And Amazon are a good example of this form of KPI management, as they get money from buyers quite fast, but they take a considerable amount of time to pay their suppliers, sometimes up to 90 days. So their suppliers are funding the development of their business. Okay, now you might be wondering, how can I determine the relevance or usefulness of KPIs for my business? And that is a very good question indeed. Well, there are some good answers to that question. And those answers include one which is of particular use to us, and that's called the SMART criteria, S-M-A-R-T. And the SMART criteria can help you to evaluate the relevance of individual KPIs for your business. And based on the SMART criteria, each KPI you select must be able to stand up to the following test. 1, the S. And the S asks, is the KPI specific? 2, M. And M means, is the KPI measurable? Then we have A. And this means, is the KPI attainable or can it be achieved? Then we have R. And the R means, is the KPI relevant to us? And finally we have T. And T means, or answers the critical question, is the KPI you selected time-bound, or in other words, does time impact it? And is the KPI useful also over a longer period of time?